Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Eugene. Welcome to all our friends, both here that are here in the sanctuary and those that are joining us virtually online. We're glad that you're with us here today. Our ministerial intern, Ember, is serving as Zoom minister today. My name is James Trujillo, and I use he, him pronouns. For those who need visual descriptions, I'm a white passing man with brown hair, and according to my teenage child, too many freckles. Today I'm wearing a white shirt and brown pants. All the information you need to know about today's service can be found in our handy guide to Sunday worship. And if you didn't get one, please wave your hand now and someone will bring one to you. It looks like, oh, we've got a few people that need one over here. So we've got some hands raised. All right, thank you very much. Zoom friends, our tech team will drop a copy of the order of service and a visitor form in the chat. And now, let us enter into a time of reflection, spiritual growth, and community by lighting the flaming chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Brian will be lighting the chalice as I share these words from Starhawk, a neo-pagan feminist who sometimes refers to herself as a Jewish witch. Earth Mother, Star Mother, you who are called by 1,000 names, may all remember we are cells in your body and dance together. You are the grain and the loaf that sustains us each day. And as you are patient with our struggles to learn, so shall we be patient with ourselves and each other. We are radiant light and sacred dark, the balance. You are the embrace that heartens and the freedom beyond fear. Within you we are born, we grow, live, and die.
Good Sunday morning, everyone. It's great to see you all. My name is Youngsun Ryu, and I am privileged to serve this beautiful congregation. So happy the choir is with us today. It's always nice to have you at my back. So one of the reasons that I have always had a consistent practice of coming to worship on Sunday morning is that I tend to forget. I tend to forget some of the important things in life. During the week, sometimes I get so busy spinning and running on the little hamster wheel that I forget. And so I come here to remember. I come here to remember who I am and what I am. And so I'm glad that you all have taken the time to stop what you're doing in your world and give yourself this time and this space to remember. To remember that the wheel of the year has again turned. To remember that Earth has given us yet another reason to pause, to be grateful. We are here sitting on the edge of autumn, and each day the darkness grows and invites us home. I'm pointing now to my heart. It invites us to return and to have a reunion with ourselves. Rilke once wrote, not to be cut off, not to be cut off, not through the slightest partition shut out from the laws of the stars, the inner, what is it if not intensified sky hurled through with birds and deep with the winds of homecoming? Later this week, the Jewish High Holy Days begin with Rosh Hashanah, the New Year. And those practicing Judaism will move through these days with fasting and prayer and atonement. Unitarian Universalists also can follow the movement of the migrating birds, the shape of the sun's path, the changing fragrances of trees. And we can also enter into a season of deeper reflection and into our own practices of making amends. Our ministerial intern, Ember, will talk more about that next week. This morning, an invitation comes to us from the earth, from Gaia herself, the whole of everything that exists on this tiny, blue, spinning planet in this vast universe. An invitation where she asks us to remember that we are one of many animal bodies, one of many creatures that belong in this interconnected web of existence. When we forget this very basic truth, we become disconnected from ourselves. And so let us accept Gaia's invitation today with these words from the back of our hymnal. Before the wonders of life, we acknowledge our failure to behold and to revere these wonders. Before the sanctities of life, we confess our disrespect and our indignity. Before the gifts of life, we own that we have chosen the lesser good. Here today, we seek the gifts of the Spirit and pledge to use them to bless the world. May it be so. Let us worship together. Unitarian Universalists hold love at the center of our faith. And then 7 values rise out of this love. You know them: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, affectionately known as Jet Pig. My colleague, Elizabeth Nguyen, reminds us that one aspect of interdependence can mean that sometimes we need to be loved on, and sometimes we love others. It means that sometimes we are leaned on, and sometimes we lean on others. Some call it communal care. It's how we show up and let others know how to express this truth, that we do not go it alone, and we do not let each other go. Today, we're trying something a little bit different. I know you like change. As you entered, you were able to write in our book the joys and sorrows that you've been holding this week. Anything that you write in the book, we will share out loud, unless you make a note and say, don't share. And we have moved the candles and the water to the central altar, if you will, the center of our worship space. And so I want to invite you to come up as you are called, to place a stone in water, to light a candle, to express the joys and sorrows that you are carrying in your hearts. This is a silent activity. Suzanne's going to play a little music for us while we do this. And as you're in your seats, if you choose not to come up, you can do a number of things. You can practice a loving kindness meditation. For each person who comes up, you can wish them well. You can do your own meditation or prayer practice. You can be curious about yourself and the thoughts that rise. You can take this time to simply rest and be still. So as you're ready, I invite you to come up. And for all of these joys and sorrows, the deep places in our hearts that have been expressed here and those that remain in the quiet sanctuaries of our hearts, we are grateful. For these are the pieces that make up a whole and amazing life. Amen.
Our reading today is a poem, Spell of Creation by Kathleen Rain. Within the flower there lies a seed. Within the seed there springs a tree. Within the tree there spreads a wood. In the wood there burns a fire. And in the fire there melts a stone. Within the stone, a ring of iron. Within the ring, there lies an O. Within the O, there looks an eye. In the eye, there swims a sea, and in the sea, reflected sky. And in the sky there shines the sun. Within the sun, a bird of gold. Within the bird, there beats a heart. And from the heart, there flows a song. And in the song, there sings a word. In the word, there speaks a world of joy, a world of grief. From joy and grief, there springs my love. O love, my love, there springs a world, and on the world there shines a sun. And in the sun there burns a fire. Within the fire consumes my heart, and in the heart there beats a bird. And in the bird there wakes an eye. Within the eye, earth, sea, and sky. Earth, sky, and sea within O lie like the seed within the flower.
Oh, love, my love, there springs a word. My friends, we are not merely in the world, we are of the world. Gaia is the whole, animated world that contains us and is greater than us. The more than human world embraces us and it exceeds us. Much of my reflection comes today from the teachings of David Abram and his book, The Spell of the Sensuous, Perceptions and Language in a More Than Human World. Has anybody read this book? This is one of my favorites. Humans are made for relationships, David writes. Just look at this body, right? How it receives nourishment of every kind through our senses. colors, tastes, smells, the skin feels, texture. And then there are those other senses, harder to explain, those spidey senses, right? That can pick up on vibes. And look how we have negotiated our relationships with other bodies on this planet. We breathe out carbon dioxide, and then the plants take it in, and then they release oxygen, and we breathe that in. Plants turn light into food. As one poet put it, food is not matter. It is the heart of the matter. Food is the flesh and blood of rock and water, of sun and of soil. So here is a leaf, right? Does everybody have one? If you don't, I think, Christina, do you have the basket of leaves? If you don't have one, we've got plenty. So just select one and hold it. Have a relationship with it. Smell it, touch it, feel it. We have treated leaves like garbage, right? We have raked them up and actually literally put them in the garbage. And yet they are a living body. Their form and their shape is different from ours, and yet they live. What do you smell? What do you sense from this? Before the wonders of life, we acknowledge our failures to embrace and to revere these wonders. We have treated the leaf as garbage. Prior to the modern age, we encountered the world through the wind and the rain, the movements of the sea, the interactions of the plants and the four-leggeds, the finned and the feathered. There was no distinction between the animate world and the inanimate because the whole world is animate. The whole world moves. Now, some beings, like the mountains, they move slower than other beings. But we all move. Back then, it was a world that spoke to us constantly, and we listened. What is this leaf saying to us? This leaf, a spokesperson for the entire more than human realm. What is this saying? Listen. We'll come around with the mic, and you can imagine what the more than human world is saying. What is it trying to say to us? Every single day, every minute of every hour, it is speaking to us. What do you imagine it's saying to us?
It's saying you can be fragile, but you have a strong core that, if you're not careful, can rip.
And Ember, if there's someone on Zoom who would like to, if someone's typing in the chat, Ember, you can share with us too.
You are beautiful just by being.
Thank you. You're beautiful just by being.
Look around you, move with us, see with us, and be with us.
Come back. It's okay to drop the parts of you that you don't need and then regrow new things.
We are also very beautiful, but very different.
We're all interconnected. It's a huge web of life.
Everything is fragile.
Synchrony, I am part of everything and everything is part of me.
Turn sunlight into delight.
Never stop noticing.
Join the dance.
There is a stem that connects me to the whole.
Thank you, everyone. For centuries, human beings have been moving away from this more than human world, separating ourselves from what we consider often to be lesser than. I mean, what is this, right? It's just a leaf, lesser than. Over and over, we have chosen domination over nurture. And today, people as a whole are estranged from Gaia. Most of us interact with only human beings and things that human beings have built for ourselves. Now, I know Eugene is a little bit different because there tend to be more people who are really truly connected to the other and more than human realm here. But I tell you that Eugene is not like everywhere else. And in most places in the world, humans are really quite separate and quite disconnected. You know, we talk about nature as something that's out there. We're here and nature's out there and it's something separate from us and it's a place we visit when we have time and it's something that we watch on TV. But as Abrams puts it, we turn this incredible, vibrant world into an inert, passive background against which human history unfolds. We have turned this animate, living planet into a world of things, a world of objects and mechanical processes, stripped of mystery, stripped of wonder. We extract what we want from it, and we give back very, very little. Before the sanctities of life, we confess our disrespect and indignity. Before the gifts of life, we own that we have chosen the lesser good. I believe that we are in the midst of a great turning. We know too much about what we have destroyed, and we have no choice but to return to who we truly are. We are creatures who have co-evolved with ravens and hawks and spiders and mushrooms and dolphins and oak trees and worms. The rain cloud takes its own shape, and so does this animal body. We took the form of this animal body shape, and we have these brains. Oh my, and we lift our heads, and we rose up on 2 feet, and we became vertical, just like the trees. Reaching up, at the same time, we reach down. And I know that millions of people today are turning, and we are replacing dominion with nurture and reciprocity. This is our future. This is our evolutionary future. This is what Tagore taught us, that the ultimate stage of human evolution is unity with the whole animate world that holds us. Last week, we all gathered here at round tables for our Futures Lab, and we used our imaginations to pilot a preferred future for all beings and to imagine beyond all the oppressive constructs that we live under. And so, let us be here today knowing exactly what we are and who we are. Here today, let us seek the gifts of the Spirit and pledge to use them to bless the world. Amen. And now let's say together the words of our closing. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now, friends, as you go off into your day and into this brand new week, remember who you are, remember what you are, and love the world back dearly. Go in peace, everyone. Go in love.